this is Raman Gill. Welcome to another episode of the 10,000 Trades Show, where we are mastering trading and creating excellence through the deliberate practice and analysis of 10,000 trades. Today we'll take a look at one of my favorite trade setups, which is the pivot point trade setup. I love trading pivot points. It's one of the few indicators that I actually take a look at. So let's go on to the charts and we'll take a look at what to look for in a pivot point trade setup, where to enter the trade, where to put a stop loss, and most importantly, how to exit the trade with a profit.
Here we're looking at a pivot point trade setup. A pivot point trade setup is when we see a reversal signal at one of the pivot point levels. This is pound US dollar 1 hour chart. The green line here is our daily pivot, and above the daily pivot we have R1, R2, R3, which are our resistance levels, and then below the daily pivot we have S1, S2, and S3, which are our support levels. In this case, we see that price has been coming down. We have this double top, price comes down and then pulls back into our daily pivot. And this is the price behavior we see. When price is moving lower, the price will generally drop and then pull back into the daily pivot, give us a setup at the daily pivot level, and then it will continue lower. So in this case, we see a bearish engulfing candle close right on the daily pivot. So once we see this setup, we look for our entry short. So we would enter the trade short at the close of this candle, and our stop loss can go either just above here, or I prefer to put it on the other side of our R1, in this case just above this swing level here. So we'll put our stop loss there and we enter the trade short and we stay with the trade. And as we can see here, price is moving lower. It goes through S1, goes into S2, goes through and then continues lower. So we stay with the trade, and then we see that when price comes into the next day's S1 level here, it starts to get in trouble. We start seeing pins into our support level here. So this is a good place for us to exit the trade. Once we get this pin bar here, good place for us to exit the trade. From entry to exit here, we get 120 pips in our trade. So just to recap, a pivot point trade setup is when we get a reversal signal at one of the pivot point levels. In this case, we have this bearish engulfing candle close right below our daily pivot. So now we're looking for price to move lower. So we take a trade short. Our entry is at the close of the candle here. Our stop loss would go above this previous high here, and we stay with the trade as the price moves lower. Once we see that price starts to show us signs of reversal, we have a bullish pin bar here. This is a good point for us to exit the trade. From entry to exit here, we get 120 pips in the trade. So our profit is $1,200 if trading one standard lot.
Thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you'd like to see more trade setups like this, I invite you to like, comment, and subscribe below. That's it for today. I will be back with another great episode tomorrow.